But welcome in, everybody, again. Thank you, Void, for the resubscription. I do really appreciate it. Thank you for spending your hard-earned cash or your Prime subscription, whatever it might be here. I do appreciate you. All right. Threshold linking experiment. Oh, really? That's what you decided to do? Ugh. The work to create a stable link between our reality and that of the redacted continues. Progress is good, and with all teams reporting high confidence that a successful connection will soon be possible, recent efforts in utilizing the paintings produced by Subject P to adjust reality in such a way that achieves our goals were unsuccessful. However, this result allowed us to discard that avenue of research and focus solely on a much more viable one. Our new hypothesis states that the threshold's energies, and thus its reality-altering effect, are drawn to pieces of art that contain significant level of emotion. This is supported by a clear trend in the data we have gathered over the years. If we can identify and quantify emotion of an art piece, our work will speed up considerably. Work has already proceeded with an immediate focus on developing devices capable of measuring the level of emotion in any given piece of art. For now, our research will continue to focus solely on the art produced by Subject P. While no piece of his have yielded successful results outside of their assistance in discovering the redacted pages, okay, so that's probably manuscript pages, his proven status as para-utilitarian makes his work most suitable for research material. Refer to file F2-15-3821 for full report. As the Lake House continues to make progress toward its goal, various avenues of research are being pursued. Recently, one such avenue yielded unexpected results. The research into nursery rhymes, there we go. Dr. Campbell is who we talked to. Okay, so Dr. Campbell's who we talked to. We didn't talk to either one of the Dr. Marmonts. As an art form has shown the ability to connect with the Cauldron Lake threshold. As a result, the nursery rhyme findings will be now carried by the co-heads of research and incorporated into ongoing research across the Lake House, effective immediately. Research teams will be briefed on how to utilize the effective elements of nursery rhymes in their own work. Dr. Campbell and his team are being reassigned. They will continue to develop their work on nursery rhymes outside the Lake House and expose any exposure risk related to performing confidential work outside the facility's premises have been acknowledged and accepted by co-heads of research. Okay, so that's why Campbell was doing the nursery rhymes outside of this facility. Okay. Okay, we're gonna hit us quick save, and we're gonna do us a manual save, the Lake House. Let's hopefully everyone's doing well this morning. If you're susceptible to jump scares, I will forewarn you, this game does have jump scares, so be forewarned. And if you need to step away for any reason. Okay, so these are the doctors. So I think we saw her face, because the face didn't look like him. I think it looked like her. So I think this is the dark presence in this facility. Interesting. Hey, it's this guy. Yeah, Dr. Darling. Dr. Darling is in the control stuff. He kind of explains things. He's like the tutorialization and stuff. But also talks about the research.
Okay, he doesn't do a damn thing without power.
Okay. Well, now we know where that is, at least. I love how it's like, oh, it doesn't do anything without power, yet this thing is running. I guess technically there are projectors that don't run on electricity, but... Oh, I get it. Okay, I was wondering, it's like, what is it? Why are the walls look like this? It's painting. Remember how they said they were using painting for part of the experiment? That's why this looks like everything's painted. It's because the dark place is using the paintings to literally paint the landscape. Okay. Okay, we got some grenades. We should probably... Is it control? Yeah. Probably quick slot these. Well, actually, we don't need to quick slot those. Quick slot. I think this one's already quick slotted. Yeah. I forgot we don't need to quick slot the batteries. They just reload.
Okay. Power core receiver. Plugging a core in should get the lights on.
Okay, so we need a core. I hear movement. Ever so slight movement. Also, these all can move, so I 100% expect them to move as soon as we like do something in that room over there. Okay, there's a red light over there. What is this? Nothing. Okay. Okay, so that's our core.
That is not a regulation FBC weapon.
Find a way to get the gun. Okay, well that's the red door there.
Can't open it from the side.
Okay. Alright, looks like we're just gonna have to go through that door, but I'm guessing that means we have to turn the power on. Oh, hold on, let's read this first.
Jules's key card. Could be useful.
Wait, where? This? Okay. Fortunately, Jules' keycard went missing last night. Huge shame. On a totally unrelated note, I now have a level 3 clearance card in my office. Plus a lot of black rock. Oh, no. Been grinding the black rock down to powder and stashing around in case it gets confiscated. Weapon tests using black rock powder. If successful, maybe send the schematics to off-site teams. Could lead to transfer out of this crap hole. We need to think up more applications for black rock now that I have some. There was a researcher at the oldest house who had tons of ideas like this. Wish I could remember their name. Wait, where's the key card? Oh, I guess they're both in there then.
I wish they'd make these things lighter.
Oh, this is creepy. This like orange light.
The way I saw it, there was only one way out. Identify the source of the event and contain or eliminate it. Good news, I just had to keep going down. Bad news, the elevator liked to disappear.
Yep, that sounds about right. Okay, throw this.
At least the elevator's back.
You hear that crackling noise? That. Okay, so we have to go through this maze here to see if we can find a way to that door. Can we squeeze through here? The door is closed. It looks like it needs a code of some sort. Alright, let's go ahead and save again. Wasn't there a button in here? Ah. Okay. Oh, they're paint.
Understand me. I am an agent of the Federal Bureau of Control. I can assist you if you take no hostile action against me or...
Okay, light doesn't seem to do anything to them. Neither do bullets. Alright, I think we just need to get out of here. Wait, didn't she say the elevator's back? There's no elevator. Oh, this way. Okay. So we'll have to come back up here to get that card, I'm guessing.
What are those things?
So we'll have to come back up here, I guess.
Okay, deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You never really get used to the shit you see in this job, but you can learn techniques to adjust, to function. Take 6 deep breaths. Then get to work. Find the source, collapse the threshold.
Okay.
Sir, please hold. Please hold.
What is that? If you can understand me, I'm an agent of the Federal Bureau of Control. I can assist you if you take no hostile action against me or any action that could be perceived as hostile. Do you understand? Well, I'll be damned. So what kind of entity are you?
Everybody and say hi. Have a great stream. That's all. All right. Have a good streams, Wex.
You can speak. That means you probably imprinted on a person or retained some of your former self's information. Previously human, maybe? Okay, I can work with that. I just had an unpleasant encounter with some other painted individuals. Any relation? What does that mean? Okay, hey, calm down. You need to cease all hostility right now.
Told you there were jump scares.
Bad news? That thing is really pissed off. Good news. It didn't try to kill me. Baby steps.
Okay. So we still got to get a card.
Angry living paintings are not typically on the Cauldron Lake bingo card.
Okay, so we're gonna come this way.
Something different was happening at the lake house.
So this whole floor was blocked
Couldn't let
off
it
to us
escape.
by here.
Bright Falls didn't need this particular cherry on its already shitty Sunday.
Sublevel 3.
Page development. Oh, like manuscript pages? Oh, although I'm interested. I don't think they're gonna do this, but I do want to state this now. There is a non-zero chance we get some connection to Alice.
Rudolph Lane stood back from the canvas. He didn't recognize the piece. Did he paint this? His mind was foggy, unfocused. He knew the Marmots were putting something in his food. A man in a white coat came to steer Lane back to his cell. He did not resist. He was too tired. He lay on the bed, but the stench in his cell wouldn't let him sleep. An acid stink. The turpentine. The paint. It was all over him. Years of it. 1,000 paintings. 1,000 more to come. A putrid weight he could never wash away. Cold hate simmered below the mist clogging his thoughts. Hatred for the paint. Hatred for the brushes. For the Marmots. for himself.
Max 12, min 1, average 6.7. Is co-heads one word or two? One? It's just hyphenated. Contains dialogue, clip paraphrasing, third person, omniscient, broad timeline. Marmonts, Diana and Jules, FBC, Lake House, conflict, water, dark. Okay, there's another page over here.
Diana and Jules Marmont had once been a team. Rising stars in the Bureau, both talented in their own way. Diana innovated and Jules got funding from the bureaucrats. Cooperation led to respect. Connection. Then after a decade of hard work, the happy couple were promoted. Co-heads of research. Their first years at the lake house were good. Challenging, but not insurmountable. Not for them. Gradually, thoughts fell into their heads like drops of dark water. Why does she get all the credit? What? Diana and Jules Marmont had once been a team.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Rising stars in the Bureau, both talented in their own way. Diana innovated and Jules got funding from the bureaucrats. Cooperation led to respect. Connection. Then after a decade of hard work, the happy couple were promoted. Co-heads of research. Their first years at the lake house were good. Challenging, but not insurmountable. Not for them. Gradually, thoughts fell into their heads like drops of dark water. Why does she get all the credit? Why does he get any credit? With that, a crack formed in the lake house. The Marmonts and their work became arrogant, erratic. The crack widened and the water seeped in.
Okay, we're gonna pause here for a second because we got ads, but yeah, so interesting. So there are some manuscript pages that are related to this lake house. But if you remember, if you played Alan Wake games, or you remember our playthrough of it, the lake, not the lake house, Cauldron Lake, and thus the Dark Place, has a way of basically finding like one insecurity or little bits of insecurity and using that to completely like destroy a person's being. And that's kind of what those notes are a reference to with the Marmonts is, you know, and you also could see the pictures are in different spaces. Before they were right next to each other, one like the first floor. Now they're separated, so even the environment is showing the separation of these two co-heads, which is interesting. Yeah, so the Dark Place is definitely already influencing people. But it's interesting we're getting manuscripts about this place. So that means Wake knew about the lake house while he was potentially still in the Dark Place. So, but I do think that this Doctor Marmont is the one we're seeing. I don't think it's Jules. I think it's Diana. But yeah, this is interesting. Got about 20 seconds left on ads. I'm interested to see what revelations we're gonna get from this, because we know Estevez makes it out, right? Because we see her in the main game after this event. But I'm just curious what revelations we get. Not only connected to Control and the Federal Bureau of Control, but to the story at large. So, all right. Let's see what we got here. Moving forward, the research in Lake House divided into two distinct projects. Project X 132AW, which is Alan Wake, codenamed Arbutus, is focused on the writing of Redacted, which is Wake, with Diana Marmont serving as project director. Project C43210RL, which is related to, what did they say his name was? Hold on, it was on the board. Something Lane, right?
Diana and Jules
Rudolph
Marmont.
Lane. So they just have the name. It's Alan Wake and Rudolph Lane. Named Romanus, focus on studying Lane and his work. Jules Marmont serving as project director. Okay, so Jules was over the painting stuff while Diana was over the manuscript stuff. Staff will soon be notified regarding their project assignment and any required desk changes. Your patience is requested during this reorganization. This confidential matter and is not to be discussed with external agents or teams. Any question? Oh, interesting. Oh wait, let's listen to this.
Notes regarding a page of an Alan Wake manuscript I found in the archives. I checked the records, and this page is not in our inventory. I believe it manifested inside the lake house directly. I won't be filing this page. It'll just send Jules into a panic. The page is written in Wake's usual style, so I can't say for certain if it's being literal or figurative when it calls us monsters. But what's interesting is that the page indicates that a painting succeeded in linking Cauldron Lake's threshold with our facility. Writing has always been the clearest of research, but I never considered that the writing itself would dictate a different art form as the catalyst for our success. I cannot accept that. I can't allow Jules to stumble his way into success. Not after the years of work I put into this research. I got word yesterday that 2 writers are visiting Bright Falls. I will beat Jules to the finish line.
Okay, interesting. So this is after the rift has been caused, obviously. There's still a pencil in that pencil sharpener? There is. Interesting. Also, this music is really loud, dude. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. There we go. So she has a page that says the painting will work, but she didn't tell anybody about it. ADT output and calibration, automated typing device, produce writing mimicking that of Alan Wake, known para-utilitarian. The goal of affecting reality, the same consistency as Wake's writing. To research this level of authenticity, each page is produced by the ADTs must be evaluated and graded based on its similarity to Wake's original style. Pages will be graded on the following criteria: comprehensibility, which is the most basic of criteria. It must use language and develop stories in an understandable, organic way. Style must accurately mimic this typical style of Wake's writing, using pages in the lake house possession as reference. Tone must accurately mimic the typical tones of writing, using pages. Yeah, okay. Mimic the typical content of the writing. Once pages are graded, they will be fed into an algorithm preferred reference material, thus continuously refining the writing produced by ADTs until they can produce a near identical stories to Alan Wake. Once that is achieved, we will be provide instructions to ADT on what to write, effectively gaining control of Wake's ability to link to the Shadow's power. But that we know that doesn't work, right? Because there has to be emotion to it, right? So, like, getting computers to just type a thing up is not gonna help them. Okay, there's Marmont.
There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went back. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment.
Interesting. So that might be that page she was talking about.
There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts.
New York resides in New York. Edward Booker, married to Tamitha Booker, known.
The truth was controlled.
Located in Bright Falls, writer-director of 5 stage plays, unsuccessful. Confirmed artist designation, author, playwright. Background investigation performed very short amount of time per instruction. As a result, the information contained in this report is not comprehensive. Okay, so these are the 2 writers that they were talking about.
There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in, but the water.
Okay, they grabbed the Bookers, it looks like.
Trapped, stagnant, went bad.
Okay, so Tamitha was successful, but Edward wasn't. Interesting, okay. That room looks very controlled. Emergency light. Music is still really loud, dude.
Art was not art, just content for the experiment.
Oh, this is an ominous. Look at this room.
Please
This is
let be what I
ominous.
think it is. As you know by now, typewriters and Cauldron Lake do not mix.
Crack in the lake.
And a room full of them all clacking away? 100% bad news.
And we have the ADT production archive. What is that? It's like a fuse? Typewriter brand investigation. Precise brand model used by Alan Wake with the intent to use a particular brand for redacted, and the ADTs continues unsuccessful. Sources contacted. Wake's publishing house. Wake's agent. Wake's spouse. Redacted. Okay, so they talked to somebody else. Interesting. Relevant team will continue to explore alternate sources of information. ADTs will continue operating with the available typewriter till Wake's preferred brand is known. Theoretically, replicating Alan Wake's style of writing via the same brand typewriter used by the author should yield optimal results. It's indicated that a similar investigation should be launched on the brand and type of ink used on the typewriter. Okay, this entire experiment's missing the point. What does that say? Dr. Marmont here to remind you to put in 100% effort today. This is missing the entire point of the writing, right? We know it's tied to artists and their emotions, not just to the. But again, this is how you would test that experiment, right there. That's what they're doing. So I'm guessing I need. Yeah, we need security clearance too. We only have one.
My keycard isn't high enough for clearance.
All right. I'm gonna walk through here to make sure there's nothing. There's a green door over there. Attention. Do not touch machinery unless authorized. What happens if I shoot it? Nothing. Okay. Okay. There's another door over here. Is that also a level 2? Okay, so we need to get a level 2 card. What is this? Maintenance and repair. The gunfind page is a manuscript very likely written by Alan Wake, para-utilitarian, and suspect in past cases involving the Cauldron Lake AWE. Though I do not like to bring myself or my biases into my work, I must do so here to address the matter being examined. But as reference for any future readers, I am Dr. Diana Marmont, co-head of research at the Lake House facility. The page was recently found summarized as my life with Jules Marmont, husband and co-researcher. It has turned into characters for its story, making generalizations and assumptions that I must attempt to evaluate without emotion and prejudice. Accuracy of the writing. Thank you for the lurk, Snuggie. Hopefully your stream went well. Let me get you a shout out while I'm thinking about it. Continue that. Go follow the punk powerhouse herself.
Regarding Dr. Emil Hartman.
Snuggie. She plays Fall Guys and Fortnite, like Lego Fortnite, I believe. So.
To control the power of the shadow. I've gone through his notes, which were confiscated by the Bureau after his arrest in 2010. Overall, Hartman's work was sloppy. Complete disregard for proper scientific method. But he was bold enough to try something we haven't. Our procedural writing machines are promising, but we could understand the effects of Cauldron Lake's threshold much better by observing live artists in action. Thanks to Hartman, we even have a list of prospects. Next step is to send Dr. Darling a request to bring some into the lake house for analysis.
Okay. Let's finish reading this. Actually, the writing is intriguing. Reports are tasks in the Bureau, but also details inner thoughts about an outside recorder would have no way of knowing. Jules and I have indeed been having more and more interpersonal conflict the past year. This raises many questions. How does Wake, wherever he is writing from, get his information? Or was the page itself determining these emotions and events? I cannot believe the scope of Wake's ability goes so far as to have dictated my entire career at the FBC. And if it did, would it matter? Even if a person knew their life was being driven by an external force, would it change their nature, their behavior, their personalities? That's one of the commentaries about the manuscript pages that they talked a bit more about it in this game, is the idea that, like, well, Wake wrote it, right? So it has to be true. And it gets in that topic of, like, predetermination, right? Like, oh, everything about your life is already laid out, right? There's no free will, there's no choice. Your life from start to finish is just already written, right? And how if you accept that thought, how does that actually change your mentality, right? So that's kind of what that's referencing there. Disagreements with Jules are not sudden shifts in personality, but rather growing resentment. I firmly believe that I have no evidence to prove it, which brings me a new research query for our team. What methodology can one use to prove that their actions, their mind, their love, or animosity are theirs to control? Yeah.